we are going to take the material we learned in lesson 13 about multiple linear regression and learn how to apply it in JMP. So the first thing that we learned was the F tests, and then we went to the individual T tests. So we're going to get started with that. So we're going to go to Analyze, Fit Model, same thing that we did similar to ANOVA. We're going to put our catch and our Y, and then here are our predictors or our regressors. We're going to highlight them, and we're going to add. And we're going to click Run. We're going to scroll down, and then we see our ANOVA table here, where we got our overall F, which we can see in our notes over here. Next thing that we looked at was our estimates. So we have our estimates here, our standard errors, our t ratio, and our p-value. Again, these are the two-sided p-values. To get the confidence intervals for our beta, which was the next thing we talked about, you're going to right-click, column, and then go to click lower. That's going to give us our lower 95%. And then we're going to right click again, column, upper. Click, and that's going to get our upper bound for our confidence intervals of our intercept. Okay, so something else that you might want to be interested in is changing this 95 to maybe 90 or whatnot. To do that, I'll show you when we redo this. The reason we're going to redo this is so I can show you how we're going to get the confidence intervals for the mean and the prediction intervals for a new value. So we're going to exit out of this. We're going to come here. We're going to leave this part blank. Our new observation in our data, if we scroll down in our notes here, was that we had residence density of 80. The lake size was 0.78. Our access was 1, and our structure was 45. JMP will treat this row right here as not part of the analysis. So if we go back to Analyze, Fit Model, Y, Residency, all this, Add. I'm going to take one moment to show you where you can set your alpha. You can click this red arrow, set alpha, and then you can change this. We're going to keep it there for right now. And we're going to click Run. Notice that we still have our 20 observations. Okay. The reason we did that is so that we can now go to this red arrow, save column, and here we have our mean confidence intervals for our mean. And the reason I know this is because we can read this caption next to it that says it's the confidence interval for the expected value and not an individual realization. This one here, the individual confidence interval, is the prediction interval. The reason we know that is by reading this blurb here that says that this is the confidence interval for an individual realization. I kind of think it's a little stupid that JMP doesn't call this the predictive interval, but again, that's not my choice. So if we want the mean confidence interval, we clicked it. Notice that nothing showed up on our screen. Where we have to go back to is our data table, and it's going to output the lower and upper mean. We can go back to this red save column. We can also get the predicted values. So where is our y at, or y hat? We have our predicted values. Notice that these predicted values are in the middle of this. We can also get our prediction. But again, it's all being put into our data table that we originally started in. There is a hotkey that I seem to not be able to get to work on my Mac, but there is, you can click on this red arrow, go to Save Column, and then you have Mean, and it says you can press Shift. So if I go down here, it tells me that I can Shift key to specify the alpha, but I can't get it to work. If you can, great. If not, the other way to do this is again through analyze, fit model. Our catch is our y, our residency and structure, add red arrow, set alpha, let's just go 0.25, run. And you'll notice if you scroll down here, and even if we create these columns, we start seeing the lower 95%. Or if we came up here and we did our mean confidence intervals again, go back to our data table, we see it's 95.7. So 2 ways. I personally can't get one way to work, but give you guys options. Also, here's our R² value. And that concludes how to implement our lesson 13 notes into JMP.